If you're here, you already understand the power of infinite banking, how it allows you to take control of your money, eliminate the banks from your financial life, and build wealth that works for you. But here's a key piece that many overlook. Who you partner with matters. Not all life insurance companies are created equal. If you're going to build your personal banking system, you need a mutually owned, dividend-paying, whole life insurance company. It's a mouthful, but every word was important. This may seem basic to you, but this partnership is critical for your success when looking for control, certainty, and guarantees for you and your family's financial future. Today, we're going to be diving into what the most optimal partner looks like for infinite banking and what your role is in the partnership. By the end of this webinar, you will understand the right partner, the steps to get approved to be a partner, and if you are the right partner or not. So let's dive in. So we're going to start with who benefits from the money, from your money. You work hard and your money has to go somewhere. So who's going to benefit from your money? Them or you? When I say them, I'm talking about stock-owned insurance companies. And it sounds exactly like what it is. Stock-owned means that when a dividend is paid, it could be a really great company. It could be a very dynamic company, a very long-term company. But if it is a stock-owned company, that means all the dividends are for who? For you or for them? It's for them. It's for the stock owners in the company. A mutually owned company means exactly that. If you've had conversations with me one-on-one, I might have told you it's kind of like the Green Bay Packers setup, where the team is owned by the fans. In a mutually owned company, the company is owned by who? By you. You are the owner. We are the owners. You know, I'm an owner. My family is an owner in a mutually owned dividend paying whole life company. And today we're going to go through why this is so important. Why does it have to be mutually owned? What do you want to look for in a mutually owned company? What are they looking for? Why not a stock owned company? You know, stock owned companies are focused on themselves, on Wall Street, on their partners, not on you. You want a system that you control, a system that is stacked in your favor and not in their favor. There's enough financial noise in the world. There's enough things out there that aren't serving us. And there's so much noise that has many of us frozen, energetically frozen, not knowing what to do. And it's because there's so much information. But if we think about what Nelson taught us, this is nothing more than our imagination, reason, logic, and prophecy. Notice what I didn't say. I didn't say math. I didn't say spreadsheets. I didn't say anything other than logic, reason, prophecy, and imagination, our thinking, our energy. So let's dive in a little further about these partnerships. So your critical partnership for the infinite banking concept is when you own a dividend paying or a policy from a dividend paying whole life insurance company that's mutually owned. You're not just a customer in that scenario. You're the partner. Like I just said, you receive the company's success. And so you're sharing the benefits, you're sharing in the dividends. The company works for you, not Wall Street, not outside investors, not stock owners, and you have the long-term stability. You're putting your money somewhere where our grandparents put their money. Back in the 80s, in the early 80s, late 70s, 85% prescribed to what we're talking about today. But somewhere along the line, we've lost our ways. Somewhere, with the start of all these retirement plans, these government sponsored retirement plans, all of these different vehicles to put our money, all these different investments, all these different ways to separate you, the person that earns the money, from their money. You're constantly receiving this input from banks, from financial institutions, from advisors who aren't looking out for you. They're looking out for them first. It's about the company, themselves, and then maybe you're going to win. So the mutually owned dividend paying companies are assuming the risk, not you. That's what we want, right? You guys, right? Who wants to assume the risk? Do you want to assume the risk, or do you want someone else assuming the risk on your behalf and looking out for you? You want to have that nice, warm, comfy blanket like when you were a little toddler or baby where you just feel so good. You got your blankie because you know it's going to be there for you. You know it's got your back. And not all life insurance companies are created equal. Not these. This is I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I'm also going to show you what it does not look like. It does not look like any of these things. It is not a stock owned company. It is not a stock owned company. It's not a company that demutualized like Ohio National did a few years ago. It's not a company that is bringing you IULs or has universal life, VULs, anything that has market volatility. It's not a company that has a weak dividend history, meaning that they haven't been profitable for 100 plus years. They're not a multi-billion dollar company and some of the other things I'm about to show you. The right company has stability, it has dividends, and you have full control over your money. You are the person that is most important in the contract. You are what number? You're number one. Like Ricky Bobby's dad said, if you ain't first, you're what? You're last. Okay? It's pretty easy. So, not these. Remember this. It's not universal life. It's not index universal life. It's not a stock owned company. And it's not a company with a weak dividend history. It's not any of those. What is it then? The ideal banking partner. This is kind of like the graph I taught in the 9-week black belt boot camp, where you have at the bottom, you have structure. Think about where you want to build your life, your mansion, your home. You're not building it on sand. You want to build it on a bedrock, on something that is super solid. Wouldn't it make sense to do the same thing for your financial future? Have that rock solid foundation. Remember, this isn't going to make you wealthy. I just want to make sure that you understand this. This isn't short term thinking. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but this is how you build a rock solid foundation, which is why I'm here. This is why Nelson Nash's book, who hopefully I'm acknowledging in every single one of these I do, this book changed my life. If you ever need it, you can text me, you can let me know, and I can even show you how to read this book. So not a commercial, not selling Nelson's book, but this man right there, they used to have his picture on the front of the cover, but his son-in-law, David Stearns, who runs the Institute now, put it on the back after the 4th edition. So let's look at this ideal banking partner. Let's look at the stability at the bottom, the structure, like legacy martial arts, the structure or victory martial arts. Our foundations criteria: mutually owned, multi-billion dollar company, profitable every year over 100 years in business. Is that impressive? Anybody in the chat impressive? Put it in the chat down below. If you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, you know that most companies fail within 5 years. Now, let's multiply that times 20, and all these companies have been profitable longer than that. It's kind of impressive. Think of all the things that have happened. Number 2, a stronger together criteria. A stronger together criteria. Align core values, which I'm going to talk about the values they're looking for. I'm going to talk about the values that you're looking for. Supports the Nelson Nash Institute. At Think Tank, Linus was there. At Think Tank, every company that is in my mind right now that we partner with, and who knows, things can change in the future, which is why I'm not advertising them here, because that's not important. The importance is the process of understanding that they support the infinite banking concept. Their leaders practice it. Their leaders have whole life insurance. They own whole life. They're not going out and buying IULs and VULs and other things. They understand the importance of family, the stronger together. And then finally, at the top of the pyramid, we have the quality criteria: strong, guaranteed products. Anyone here like guarantees? You guys like guarantees? When you get a contract and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I have a guaranteed growth rate. Wait a minute, I have a guaranteed death benefit. Wait a minute, I have guaranteed premium deposits that never go up, no matter how old, sick, or injured I get. Whoa, that sounds like a kind of contract I want. I want all those guarantees. Yes, you do. I agree. I do too. That's why we're here. So, this is what we're looking for. This is our criteria before we help anybody have any kind of partnerships. This is what we're looking for as practitioners, as practicers ourselves in our own families for you. We want to make sure you have the stability. It's about you first, not somebody else. So now some of you might get a little nervous here. I know who you are. I'm just kind of kidding, maybe. What mutual companies, mutually owned, dividend paying companies are looking for in a partner? What are they looking for? They're looking for people that have financial discipline. And funny enough, they're looking for people that have long-term commitments. And this one's kind of fun for me. This is something I think about a lot. When people say, I don't know, Jason, what's going to happen like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? The truth? Who knows? Who knows? But then I ask that same person, how many cars have you owned? 8, 7, 5, 10, depending on how often they change cars and how many cars they or how old they are. Have you ever missed paying a car payment? No. Okay. Have you ever missed paying a mortgage payment when you sign up for 30 years? No. Then are you really afraid of commitment, of having a car, having a home, or is there something else? That's the question for you. So what are these mutually owned companies looking for? Commitment. It's your whole life, not your part life, not some of your life, not a little bit of your life, not a few days, a few months, a few years. They're looking for a whole life commitment. They're looking for financial stability from you, someone that has discipline, someone that has good habits, a desire for something better. They're looking for growth mindset. They're looking for partners that believe in themselves, believe that society will be better together mutually. And they're also interested in a guaranteed cash value accumulation. They're not speculators. These companies are not looking for speculators. They're not looking for people who are putting all their money on red, putting all their money on black, just going, oh, I hope it works out. It didn't work. It didn't work. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for people that have discipline, that have integrity, that are focused on what they want. An ideal banking customer. Look at this chart. Does it look like the other one? What we're looking for in them? Well, why wouldn't they look for the same thing in us? Look at the bottom, long-term vision. What principle of Nelson is long-range thinking? What principle in IBC is that? Is that the first principle? That's curious. How do these things work together? The truth is simple, right? You have the base, which is long-term vision. Next, you have financial discipline, consistent premium payments, responsible financial habits. Now, with that said, if you believe like I do, please pop this in the chat. Do you believe the wealthy have more choices? Do you believe the wealthy have more choices? Is that fair? I think it is. I kind of think this is designed for the wealthy by the wealthy, what we help people with. But now it's available, it's legal, and all of you can start it with the discipline. So if you believe that, well, wouldn't you want flexibility? Flexibility in how you pay your premiums. You can pay them monthly, annually, biannually. You can pay them quarterly. It really depends on how you cash flow. I just had a business owner make several $1,000,000 a year, have to switch all of his policies to monthly. And he just needed a little reminder, a little guidance, which I'll talk about. He needed that assistance to know what his choices were. Because guess what? He started, but he didn't know yet. And then you got to understand the mutual benefits. Appreciate being a policy owner. Appreciate the control that you have and the risk the insurance company's taken on your behalf. Would you guys be a little bit shocked or surprised to know that these contracts don't become profitable for the mutually owned company until year 7 or beyond on average? Is that shocking to you? People think that they put their money in and all of a sudden, oh, I don't have access to 100%. Oh my God, what's happening? I could have used that capital for this, but now you've got the money doing 3 jobs. You know, the insurance company is a business. You did just start a business. You do have employees at your business, unless you want your business run by just Who knows, right? And then you would have alignment with the company values. That's what they're looking for: integrity, financial strength, long term commitment, family based values. Family based values. This is what the ideal banking customer looks like. Is that you? I believe everybody here, all of you, I believe all of you are this, are the ideal banking customer. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. And so, how do you start? How do you start this journey? Well, one, you get the knowledge you need, right? You start understanding. You come here every week. You're learning. You go out and read books, read Nelson's book, read What Would the Rockefellers Do? Read Second Chance by Kiyosaki. Read books and understand. Watch the presentation, watch the video. It is a way that you can invest in yourself and give yourself the knowledge and just start asking easy questions. Ask easy questions like, who is going to win or have the best outcome in the scenario? Is it me or the bank? Is it me or Wall Street? Is it me or a financial advisor? Is it me or insert whatever it might be? Is it me or the mutually owned company? Well, in that, it's an everyone thrives. So you're both benefiting. So how do you start? You want to find the right mentor. And if it's not me, that's okay. But find someone that's Nelson Nash certified. Find someone that's in that rarefied air of less than 400 people in the US and Canada combined with that certification. Why? Because you don't need it to practice. It's not required. Why would you get it then? I have it because I'm paying homage to Nelson and I want to know this at the highest level. For who? For you, for me, and for everyone I serve. So find someone that's Nelson Nash certified. You can go to Nelson's website, the Nelson Nash Institute website, and look folks up. You want to have someone that's going to structure your policy to benefit not only your immediate needs, but remember, what's the first principle of infinite banking? It's long-term thinking. It's thinking long range. So how do we take your long-term vision, what you want 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years from now, and tie it back to where you're at today? Whether it's debt, whether it's saving up money for your next purchase, whether it's putting your money to work. So remember, money only works two ways. Man makes money, money makes money, or woman makes money, right? Man or woman make money, or money makes money. So we want to structure your policy to help you meet today's goals, to build that confidence, to build that progress, to build your business and give you the results that you've been looking for, that freedom, that feeling. And then you want to have the funding strategy. Again, how are you paying your premium deposits? How much are you saving? We're only changing that one thing. Where does your extra money, your surplus money go? But let's come up with the right structure for you. It's not cookie cutter. It's why it's specially engineered, cash rich, whole life from a mutually owned, dividend paying, whole life company. I've never said that before. It gets to be a mouthful. Sometimes I cut it down and say, hey, this is boring old permanent whole life. And I've got my peers like Mary Jo going, psst, Jason, don't forget dividend paying from a mutually owned company. Got it, Mary Jo. Thank you for pointing that out. Or Jason Lowe saying, Jason, don't forget to keep it simple, do simple better. You have your peers telling you. And then the company selection. I showed you the pyramid. I showed you what we're looking for. You can go back and watch this again. But you want to find the right partner. The right partnership's important. It's the right partnership for your life, for your whole life. It's like getting married. Maybe that's what we're scared with the commitment. I don't know. Just think about that. How do you start? It's pretty easy, but you got to make that commitment to yourself. And as always, if you're new here, smash the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. As Connor Patrick likes to say, it might just turn orange and it alerts you to all the new content. Spread the IBC message, invite everyone that deserves an invitation, which is everyone you know, unless you don't like that person. That's kind of weird, but still invite them. The Infinite Banking Bus is huge, has plenty of room, and it can definitely fit all of the people. They can get on the bus, they can get off the bus. It is really up to them. Now, let's talk about the application process, something that we've never covered before, something I've never put out in video before, but I talk about on a daily basis. What does the application process look like? Well, first, there's going to be some field underwriting questions. You're going to ask some simple questions. How tall are you? How much do you weigh? Do you have any medical problems? Do you take any medications? If so, how much? What kind? Have you had any DUIs? Have you had any criminal activity? Do you smoke? Do you smoke marijuana? Yes or no? What's another question I asked? Do you have any bankruptcies? These are just some of the preliminary levels, the kind of categories they're looking for, which I'll go through in more detail here. But first, we're going to make a plan. We're going to tie your long-term goals to your short-term goals. We're going to find the right amount of policy for you, the right amount of banking to start. Because remember, you don't know anything until you've done it. Go theorize about riding a bike. Go read books about engineering on how a bike works. Go read philosophy on what the feeling of riding a bike is and how it provides freedom. And then never ride the bike, but then say you know how to ride a bike. What's going to happen when you get on that bike, push down the pedals, and start riding? You're probably going to crash, get wobbly, unless you're really good at riding bikes. You have to do the thing to be able to understand, to rethink your thinking, which is the fifth principle. So again, you're going to do the call, have a strategy session with someone that's going to provide you with the information you need. You're going to schedule a call with an application specialist who, think of them as the concierge to the life insurance company. They're going to be able to do a deeper dive on the basic questions I gave you a moment ago. You're going to have about a 30-minute application call as long as you fill out the pre-application form. Once that's done, the information's sent over to you and you sign the application. Now, if your name's spelled wrong, your address, a beneficiary you want to change, you can still sign the application and get that updated. Okay, it is important that it's all correct, but signing the application is not signing a contract. It is signing an agreement to say, I want to be a partner of this mutually owned, dividend paying whole life company. Please accept me as a partner. I am all the things you are looking for, and I smell good too. So go ahead and make sure that you sign an application to start the underwriting process. Now you're in underwriting. What does that look like? So you got these different underwriting categories. I put some percentages up there. Now, these are just based on our numbers. They might be a little higher, but on average, insurance companies, these mutually owned dividend paying whole life companies have been profitable for 100 plus years, always paying dividends that have your best interest in mind, except about 88 to 89% of people that'll work for banking. What happens to the other 10 or 11 or 12% of people? Well, then we can talk about who's another insurable interest if you're not able to get approved. But it's always important that we understand that the breadwinner, the person earning the money, can they be approved or not? It's super critical. And so what are some of the things insurance companies are looking for? The health underwriting. That's your BMI, your medical history, your prescriptions, tobacco use, family history. And this may include, height, weight, blood, and urine. Like I'd like to joke, I used to always say this, they just want to make sure that you are as pretty on the inside as you are on the outside. That's kind of weird, but I like it. I got that from Joe K, one of my partners. And then you've got your lifestyle underwriting. What are your hobbies? Do you have crazy habits? Do you like to skydive every day of every weekend? What are the things that you like to do? And just be honest about it. Remember, it's a partnership. So talk about the things that you're doing. Background checks, driving records, criminal history, credit card checks. All of these things, like if you have things in collections, work on them. No matter what I've seen with whole life from our partners, I've seen people lose 80 to 100 pounds and go from table rated, bottom level table rated, all the way to standard. I had a conversation with a 63-year-old woman today who is eating this stuff up. She's got her youngest son involved. She wants her other sons involved. And one of the things that this is going to give her is a reason, a why to go and improve her health, because she's a brilliant woman. She is a brilliant woman. She will qualify, but she's going to work on her health. Health is wealth, folks. Life gets more expensive. Things get harder. The older we get, I'm 50. I know. Every day I wake up, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even work out yesterday. What is happening? So these are the areas, right? Health, financial, lifestyle, background. 30 minutes, answer those questions. You're submitted to underwriting. This is what they're looking for. Now, the underwriting process. The underwriters, once you've done that complimentary paramedical, your height, weight, blood, and urine, if you need it, they're going to evaluate these things. They're going to go and pull records, look at things, maybe go to your primary care physician, maybe go to the VA if you're working in VA. It's pretty streamlined. It's getting faster all the time. I went through my process for both of my policies on my body in 14 and 18 days, one with full underwriting. So you can go faster than the normal person by just being proactive, signing the things as they come over, understand the processes, which is why I'm putting this video together. I want to serve you and have you get all of those questions cleared up. What's it look like? This is really for you, the one that wants to be the banker, that wants to go through the process. And then after they review your lifestyle, you're going to get a result. And I looked at the things they're looking at. I thought, man, some people are going to be a little nervous about the financial assessment because it sounds like they're assessing you. The health evaluation, the lifestyle review. It's like going to the dentist. Anyone here hate going to the dentist? You just can hear the drill. You know, you think that they're going to tell you need all this work and you get this list costing thousands and thousands of dollars. Is it just me or is it all of you? Do you guys have that fear when you go to the dentist? I think some people, just from the number of calls of 3,000 plus people that I've been able to serve on one-to-one calls, and then plus this kind of platform and educating thousands of people, right? Some people are just nervous because they don't want people, they think maybe something's wrong and I don't want to know about it. That's me too. Ask my wife. I just finally went and got lab work, blood work, and she kindly ripped the Band-Aid off of me earlier, really slow. I think she was mad at me. I'm not sure. And then we got Jake's the dentist. Yes, you are. Yes, Jake, you're folks. I love dentists, but you guys all make me nervous. I'm not going to lie. So I put up this guy here. Do you guys know who that is in that picture? It's not the best drawing of him, but I was pretty sure you guys could figure out. Number 23 or 45 later. Do you know who that is? Maybe MJ, right? Michael Jordan. Thank you for guessing, playing along. How many shots did Michael Jordan lose or miss in his lifetime? Any guesses? Someone throw a number up there. How many shots do you think this 6-time NBA champion, 5-time MVP, 11-time All NBA team, how many shots did Michael Jordan miss? Here's a number. It's pretty shocking. 12,345. How many points did he make? 32,000 plus in 15 years. Michael Jordan missed an average of 823 shots per year. My point here in sharing this, if you don't go through the process, once you know that you want to be a partner, how will you ever know? You got to take the shot. You got to ask the question. You got to find out. And you have nothing to lose from finding out. At least you know. Maybe it'll save your life. I don't know. I've seen that too. So now you're approved, right? What's the best way to get approved? Be transparent up front. Disclose everything. You know, ask your application specialist, like, hey, this happened this many years ago. It's this. Do I need to, be more forthright than less? And improve your health. Like, this is an opportunity to be healthier. Work with an expert. Like I said, work with someone who just does this. Provide a cover letter. That's a great way. This is one thing, like we were talking about this the other day in a meeting, where if you're trying to, like, say you're an adult child like myself trying to take a policy on my adult parent that is quite a bit older, why would I need to own a policy on my 70-plus-year-old father? Well, maybe if he's living here with us, he's taking care of our kids, he's helping out around the house. If he passed away, it would be financially difficult for our family because he's providing so much value. So a letter explaining to the mutually owned company what's happening in your scenario, why it's important to have generational wealth, to create an estate plan that's going to work for your family. There's so many levels of this. Remember, this is just a foundation, IBC. The long-range thinking involves more things. The Rockefeller method involves more things, but we got to start somewhere. We got to start with walking before we start trying to sprint, run, go run marathons, right? Planning early, getting your kids started early. It's way easier to get approved when you're a child that's never had any health problems. And the older we get, the more likely something has come up in our life, right? And so now, like I said, you're approved. Congrats. That's what I'll tell you first. Congrats, because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. You're one of the 88, 89% that have been approved. Congrats. Here's what's next. Once you're approved, you're going to receive a breakdown of what your actual approved illustration looks like. And remember, an illustration is just a snapshot in time. It's actually theoretical. We can actually, a real IBC practitioner can show you how to bank and make that even hum better than you'll ever see in an illustration. They'll show you the little tricks to make sure it's maximum efficient. And when we check in with you on that call, maybe things have changed. Maybe you had an emergency. Maybe you came into more money. Maybe I've seen people add more, take away less. But that is our time to come together and say, hey, this plan we put together a few weeks ago, is this still the best plan? Is this how you want to move forward? Do you want to change how you make your premium deposit? Do you want that to be monthly now instead of annual? Do you want that to be annual instead of monthly? Like, let's make those changes, come together and talk about what happens next. Because now you're just approved. Nothing's really happened yet. It seems super exciting because you've been around this, you've been around the campfire, learning, reading, coming to webinars, you're approved. Now what? It's a little anticlimactic, right? So you're approved, we make the adjustments or not. We ask the insurance company, the mutually owned company, the one in that big pyramid, go ahead and issue Emmett's policy. Go ahead and issue Jake's policy. Now you guys are going to receive a 100+ page contract. We'll tell you where to find the guaranteed contractual rate. We'll show you what you will see there, what you won't see there. We'll tell you what things that aren't that important, like tying it to the index, your dividend. Why would you ever do that? You can take the money from a policy and then put it to work in a market if you want, but have your dividend buy more paid up additions. Just one example. But we'll tell you what to look for, what's not that important. Read everything. Some people redline the whole thing, looking for everything. Some people like me just got my, and I'm not suggesting you do this, but I got, I'm like, I'm approved. Yes. Everything looks like I want it to, even a little better. I'm going to sign it. I'm going to fund it. And when you fund it, you can either, you have two choices. You can snail mail a check, or you can connect your bank account, right? Your, what we call segregated account, your separate account, whether it's checking or savings. Recommend checking, but you can use either your routing number, your checking number to the insurance company. You're never sending me any money as your mentor. You can, I can give you my address. It's 13, blah, 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 blah. No, but you're never sending me any money. I love presents. I love mail. So if you ever want to, feel free. But again, it's between you and the mutually owned company. I am nothing more than a guide. Yes, I do get paid from the smaller part of what I've designed to help you. Everything's transparent though. That's the kind of partnership you want. So your policy's approved. You've requested funding. You've looked at it. You funded it. Now you've gone ahead and you put your policy in force, is what we say. It is active. What happens then? At that point, you're introduced to your implementation specialist. It is why I partnered my company with the Money Multiplier. It's because they have that support system. They understood banking is about the verb, the doing, and you have to have someone to support you. So why not have someone that's helped 18,000 plus families get started? And by the time we're done, it'll be millions, promise, because there is so many people who need to take back control of their money, to have that security, to do the things that we're all doing here. So you get that implementation specialist. They are your student driver. They're going to show you how to use the policy. How do you take out a loan? How do you pay back a loan? How do you change some of the documents? Like maybe you want to change the beneficiary to another person, to a trust, to something else. They're going to help you navigate the day-to-day. How do you read the dashboard? How do you log into the dashboard? So this helpful? Do you guys like how simple this is, that you're getting walked through all of the steps of what it is to be a good partner for a mutually owned company and what they're looking for as far as a partnership is? So we've covered a lot today, right? Today we've covered why you want to have zero bank dependency, why there's 100+ years of profitability, why you have massive growth potential and guarantees. We've covered what the most optimal partner looks like, and most importantly, or as importantly, what they do not look like. We dove into the characteristics you want in a partner, and just as importantly, what characteristics a partner wants in you. We covered the application process, what the insurance company is looking for, what are the 4 areas, what does underwriting entail, what happens once you're approved, what happens once you've signed and funded, and how by applying what you learned today, you have improved your family's financial situation factually and forever. Thank you again for providing me your most valuable resource, your attention. May this have provided you with the value beyond the price of admission, which is free, by the way. So I'm super blessed, as always. Now you have a choice to keep learning or get on the mat, right? Get on the mat, pick a date, book a free call, and watch my full training video by scanning the QR code. You scan that QR code, book a call with me, come with whatever you are trying to solve, come financially weighed in. I will provide information prior to the call, again, to support your journey. Subscribe if you're new, smash the like button, ring the bell to be alerted for more content helping you learn how you can take back control of your money and become your own banker. Invite others to join the Infinite Banking bus. There is plenty of room. It's a big ass bus, and I know you will be the biggest blessing to that person's life. Again, I'm going to see you in this next video. Don't want to miss it. There's going to be new information, more content, more learnings that are going to unlock the process for you, the infinite banking concept. So go ahead, scan that QR code if you're ready to book a call with me, and we will have a free strategy session helping you start your infinite banking journey. Until next time, be blessed. I'll see you in that next video. Talk to you soon.